Kia ora, hello. Well, a relatively quiet looking afternoon across New Zealand. High pressure really dominating the weather, meaning for many of us it's a dry and fine looking afternoon. Still a little bit more cloud around those eastern parts of the South Island and pushing up towards Wellington. And as we head through the afternoon, we'll find some showers springing up through the Bay of Plenty towards Rotorua, perhaps one or two sharper ones through there as well. They're not for everyone, but I think just a few odd showers to watch out there, and a little bit more cloud pushing it back towards Hawke's Bay and Gisborne. But up in Auckland, down towards Wellington and down many parts of the South Island, it's a dry and fine looking afternoon. But while it's relatively settled here in New Zealand, if we take a bit of a step back and look up towards the tropics, you can see things are starting to get a little bit more active. These areas of low pressure systems here out towards New Caledonia and Vanuatu, developing up through there, set to bring some windier and wetter weather through some of the island regions. But also as we head in towards the weekend, pushing closer towards our shores. Now at the moment, the worst of the weather staying just to the north of New Zealand, but it is a situation we're keeping a real close eye on, and so well worth keeping up to date with the forecast as we head through towards Sunday, especially for those northern parts of New Zealand. However, let's go back to this next few days. For Wednesday, high pressure sticks with us, which means, again, for many of us, it's a dry looking day. Again, the afternoon sees a little bit more activity up across the Bay of Plenty. Might find a few more showers through there, especially across those eastern areas. And you can see we have got our next visitor, our next feature moving in towards the south, bringing some wetter weather back in towards parts of Fiordland and Southland, and perhaps even in towards Stewart Island as we head through the end of the day on Wednesday. But for many of us, it's a dry story. For the North Island, we start off with perhaps a few pockets of mist and fog down towards Wellington and perhaps in towards some of those valleys of Waikato. But they clear off, and for many of us, it's a pretty decent looking day. As we head through the afternoon, we'll find a bit more in the way of showery weather returns towards the Bay of Plenty, especially out towards the east there, about the tops of the ranges between you and Tairafti. But generally a fine, dry, sunny looking day. Not a bad looking story in Auckland, a bit more cloud towards the end of the afternoon, but generally a fine looking Wednesday. Plenty of dry, sunny weather and a good one down towards Wellington as well. Top temperatures in the capital of around about 21 degrees Celsius. Head further north though, and you'll find those temperatures rising to 24 in Palmerston North, 26 out towards Rotorua, and as we head in towards Auckland as well, 25, 26 degrees Celsius, a pretty decent one, but highs around about 28. As we head down towards the South Island, again, for many of us, it's a dry story. A bit more cloud through parts of Canterbury to start with, that low cloud just breaking up and clearing as we head through the morning time. Areas of cloud are running up that western coast, perhaps thick enough to give a few spots of drizzle in towards the foothills more than anything else and towards the ranges. But really, the next lot of weather will be this next front that feeds in towards the south. Ahead of it, some pretty strong winds around Foveaux Strait, and that wet weather reaching in towards Invercargill through the afternoon. A bit more in the way of low cloud back in towards Dunedin through the evening could bring a few spots of drizzle, but I think the wetter weather just pushing up towards the far south late in the day. For many spots though, it's a dry looking story with the cloud breaking up to give us some sunshine. And it's pretty warm as well, especially down through central parts of Otago. Highs in Queenstown, 27 degrees Celsius. But if you head up towards Wanaka or down towards Alexandra, I wouldn't be surprised to see highs of 31 or even 32 degrees Celsius. So a pretty warm day for you. Up towards Christchurch, 21 degrees Celsius, generally staying dry, but with that cloudier start to the day. Looking on in towards Thursday, Waitangi Day, we've got the best of the dry weather up on the north side. Down south, this front moves northwards. It brings more cloud up in towards Westland and Canterbury through the daytime. Some patchy rain with that as well. Although it's starting off wet down the south, it should dry up through the afternoon. There's some clear skies returning for the end of the day into the evening. You can see that front weakens away. But as we end Thursday, we'll have cloudier skies across Canterbury, some patchy rain in towards the foothills, but I think generally more cloud than anything else on that eastern side, and some cooler air. So highs in State Wanaka as we go through Thursday, 21 degrees Celsius, about 10 degrees less than we'll see on Wednesday. Up north, things generally are staying dry. A quick look at the end of the week. The high pressure dominates things there. We'll find some fairly hefty showers across those inland parts of the North Island during Friday. But the main feature is this next area of low pressure that gets rather close to us as we head through Saturday and more especially Sunday. Now, how close it gets will all be dependent on how long this high pressure down towards the south sticks around for. That's a real driving feature of our weather. The closer the low gets towards our shores, the better chance of seeing some stronger winds, some wetter weather, and some high swells associated with it. So it's one to be really keeping a close eye on at the moment. the bulk of the weather staying away towards the north, but there is just that risk as it edges a little bit closer towards us of some stronger winds and wetter weather across those northern parts of New Zealand during Sunday. So well worth keeping up to date with the latest forecast, especially our severe weather outlook, which you can find along with all the latest forecasts over at metservice.com.